Anyway. Mr. Kurt, get over here, you posh piece of shit.
Oh, that's cool. Skeleton fire wraith thing. Looks
Oh,
like
yeah,
a stand.
Ooh.
Last time we did this, last session, Orion disassembled and reassembled his gun. Like, last one was 1,746 times.
Do you have any idea how long that would take?
He's become so good at it, he can do it in 2 seconds.
The problem is he's got, like, the proper bolt action. That's got too many parts. It'd still take him like a minute.
Pistol.
Which pistol? Pop pistol or like a revolver?
His first pistol, which was, I think, revolver, yeah.
That might be too complicated for him to take apart in less than a minute.
Yeah, it's a gag. The number can be adjusted to whatever maddening amount he's done it. He's done it for like
a lot.
The past 7 hours. So, you know, more than that.
Well, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Though it's a bit hollow to be Sprocket.
Yeah,
because it's everything's taken out and replaced by whatever the hell this thing is.
Oh, that's fucked. Oh, that's really fucked. They just gutted Sprocket.
More than one Sprocket?
What?
Is there more than one Sprocket?
Yes.
Because like I know that you said that like Sprocket downloads his memories and then starts from scratch.
Yep.
But like, is there more than one body?
At a time, not usually. Though he sort of is on the ship. Like, he's got a mind that hasn't been wiped ever, and that's on the ship.
The supercomputer.
Basically. So that's like fucking level 20 Artificer controls the ship and shit. And then he just slaps Sprocket into a body and then sends them out into the world. I should flesh out this organization more.
Probably,
Yeah.
Because like one of the things is that every single like there are a bunch of different crews and every single one has this sort of AI. And their one is not Sprocket. This one is Sprocket, but the other ones all have their own personalities and shit.
Sprocket has brothers?
Yes, he has many brothers.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so each and every one has their own thing, and they're sent out to scout. They're mostly artificers or wizards because they're in the ship's AI, but they can be anything else. Though clerics, paladins, warlocks, and other things that get their magic from other sources, from like divine or otherworldly beings, aren't as common.
Why are they like going around together? What makes them want to be in a crew together?
Well, the captain's one is just a bunch of outcasts and fucking people that nobody else wanted. Because humans are generally looked down upon in the organization for being normal and not very. And like after once as a base, they are, I guess, civilians. They can hold their own against with.
Like, I'm here.
They're actually a pretty good race.
But it sounds like
others.
I was looking for a skeleton with a Glyve art.
But it sounds like every member of that ship knows how to fight. Civilians usually don't do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, and then once you go to stuff like adventures, humans become more and more like overtaken by a lot of other races that have cool abilities and stuff like that.
What are you asking about?
I was just talking about like an organization I'm making.
Yeah.
That the
Sprocket's crew.
The one that Sprocket and the captain is from.
Well, if you're worried about like humans in like an adventurer setting and stuff, they would still be fairly prevalent because you have to account for the fact that there's a lot of humans. A lot of humans. And also, it's very heavily hinted at in D&D, but they never expressly do it in 5e especially. Humans are technically super learners. They pick up skills and adapt to things as fast as shorter-lived races do, yet they live 100 years, so they can actually perfect those skills to a considerable degree as well and have a much more concrete and established society. So humans are actually right on par with the elves and the dwarves and all of that in their capability and their crafts and things like that, because they have the sheer numbers of something like goblins, but they also have the lifespan and community to be as refined as something like dwarves. And it's why they're so dangerous and taking over everything, and there's just more and more humans and fewer elves and dwarves.
Okay, well, then I need to find another reason for humans to be looked down upon, because that's kind of the base of a lot of the captain's crew, that it just takes in rejects. And
the way you were saying it just made me think of like, he hasn't even been hate crimed. Like, because you said like the captain takes a lot of like the downtrodden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the captain being a warlock primarily is quite looked down upon as well, because clerics, warlocks, paladins, and other classes that get their abilities from like other sources, be it divine or anything otherworldly, very inconsistent when you're doing multiversal travels, because that being has no power in that universe.
Warlocks are sort of an in-between, so they would fare a lot better than all the other ones.
They still wouldn't fare as well as like a fighter or a wizard or an artificer.
Depending on oath, paladin could fare best. Because paladins generate their own, if they're not like devotion or something like that. As for warlocks, their patron's not always the source of their power. Great Old One's a good example of this. Because very often the Great Old One doesn't even fucking know they have a warlock. It's like, wait, what, when, how, what?
I've been a sorcerer this whole time. Weird.
That's something I'm thinking of. What are the Great Old Ones doing in the primordial space out there? What are they doing? Eating dreams or something?
Mm-mm.
Fucking around.
So, Great Old Ones in D&D come across in two different ways. There's ones that are from other realities far beyond. That's things like Cthulhu and Dagon. And then there's things like Hadar, which are literally proto-matter from the ethereal plane way, 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 way back. Before the planes even formed, when it was just a bunch of wispy proto-matter all over the place. Before even the gods and the luminous being and all that arrived. That proto-matter was sticking together and becoming like a larger mass of something more, quote-unquote, the biggest air quotes the world has ever seen cognizant. It sort of took on a willpower. So things like Hadar, which is the hungering darkness, is basically the infinite void of nothingness that existed at the time, you know, in the space where there was no proto-matter, plus, you know, the proto-matter's tendency to become something, to become life, to become matter, to become just something, to stop being nothing. Because it's sort of a reverse entropy kind of deal. It's a tendency to become stable, if that makes sense. So things like Hadar formed just from proto-matter sticking together and becoming something, and that something just kept growing and growing and growing until it becomes Hadar. And then there's ones like the King in Yellow and Cthulhu and all that, which are, you know, great old one beings from far, far, far off in whole other realities beyond the scope of anything known, really. So aberration and great old one and all that is sort of a catch-all term for things that are just so alien they don't fit anything else at all and belong nowhere.
They like don't care about it. So like they're the ones that don't care about you. They're too powerful.
A lot of great olden warlocks like patrons probably don't even realize that they are great old one patrons.
Mm-hmm. Like, you don't become...
It's like think of it this way: you're walking through a forest and you have an ant on your shoe, and then you drop like a crumb from like a granola bar you're eating, and the ant picks that up and takes it away.
Like, if you take a bucket, even if you take a big-ass bucket out of the ocean doesn't give a shit. Like, if some...
More like if you lay down on the sand and make whooshing sounds and try to make your arms move like waves, is more like what it is with the Great Old One. Patron, you're kind of pretending to be the ocean. And in that way, you're getting a small amount of its power. Because a lot of Great Old One warlocks happen from the exploration of Eldritch knowledge. It's you read like these texts and tomes and books about these Great Old Ones, and you learn more about them and become exposed to them and their vast impossibility. And that's where your power comes from. Usually, if you're a Great Old One warlock, you've never met with a Great Old One, you've never met with a servant of a Great Old One, you have nothing to do with the Great Old Ones themselves, you research them. You were doing research, you were trying to pick up Eldritch knowledge, learn this ancient magic or psionics or something, and you learned something you shouldn't have. It's how that usually goes down.
Who wrote, like, people get, like, ancient tomes about Great Old Ones. Who wrote those things? How did they discover it?
The people who... that would be someone who did encounter a Great Old One in some way.
Yeah, eventually someone did and went fucking barking apeshit mad and just started writing their barking apeshit madness down, and there was some information to be gleaned among the mad ramblings.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, my computer is fucked. I need to figure out what's going on.
Did you try and plug... Or wait, god damn it. Turn it off, take the battery out, and put it back in.
I don't know how to do that.
It is a laptop, so it should just have like a little... like tab area. You might need a screwdriver.
I don't have a screwdriver.
You don't
In your whole house?
own a screwdriver?
I mean, I have a screwdriver, but it's in my knife kit, which is at work.
Oh. I guess I'm insane for having like 4 multi-tools.
Nope, I've got them too.
Well,
First go ahead and check your laptop at least. So
Then again, I also keep a respirator at my desk, so...
the battery should be this like long, thin rod device towards the back part of it. Like where the screen folds forward and backward, where that hinge is. It should be towards that area, although it might also be on the front. It depends on the laptop. The easiest way to tell would be to hold the laptop, balance it on like your fingertips, and feel where it's the heaviest. The heaviest part of the laptop is where the battery would be, because that's always the heaviest part of the damn things. Freaky's handled a lot of laptops and taken a lot of laptops apart in his time. Yeah, too bad we can't... I don't know, you can't, like, stream this to us on your phone or something. Encanto, if we're doing movies. Freaky will destroy it. Do you like take pictures of the back of your laptops? Of your back of your laptop? Then I could probably outline the battery for you.
I guess, yeah.
If it has a hole, stick it in.
Oh. Like the bottom of it.
Oh, that was something else.
I said the back, I meant the bottom of it. Yeah, most laptops have a battery that just, it slots in and out, so you shouldn't have to unscrew anything. You won't have to worry about breaking it. Because I remember many laptops, many different makes, models, some super old, some fairly new. Almost all of them had like these 2 little levers that you like pull and you wedge it out one side and then you could just slide it right out. Super easy. So they're meant to be removable. Alright, let's see. Oh, you've got a weird one.
Things.
Okay, well, here, I'll end the stream for now.